Hello everyone, welcome to the session. And in this session, we'll be seeing specifically how we can install Java in our Ubuntu system. Specifically for the demo, we are utilizing 24.04 LTS here. Okay. Now there are many videos, an ample of videos available to install Java in Ubuntu. But why we are creating this? Because what we have seen is that developers require multiple versions of Java and they also need to switch between those versions. Okay, because they are working on a lot of applications and there is a possibility that different applications are basically utilizing different versions. So they have to switch and they have to cater to all the applications in a day. Okay, so in this specific video, we'll be seeing how we can install multiple versions and also how we can switch between those versions so that we can utilize the version what we want. Let's dive directly in. So how we have structured this session is that first we'll be seeing all the steps that are included in the guide, all the step-by-step instructions. Then once we have understood all the instructions, then one by one, we'll be doing those instructions and seeing the demo that how it's being done. Okay, moving forward for step one. The step one is that let's open the terminal. We'll be utilizing the terminal to basically install Java. So the shortcut for that is Control Alt T. So if you press this, yeah, you can open the terminal, and you can also go to the file system, the search system, and open the terminal as well from there. Now, once we have opened the terminal, then what we'll be doing, we'll be updating the sources utilizing sudo apt update. This will ensure that your package index is basically current and it avoids version conflicts during installations. Moving forward with step 2 and 3, these are basically pre-check steps that do we already have a Java installed. So to do so, what we'll be doing here is to check the runtime, we'll be doing Java hyphen version. This will verify if the Java runtime environment is already available. Okay. What JRE is, it's basically an runtime environment provided by Java using which we can run Java applications. Now, how we can check compiler here? We'll be doing Java C hyphen version. This will give us the version of the compiler that's installed. To verify, basically what it does is it verify if the Java development kit is installed. Now Java development kit basically is utilized by a developer to create Java applications, and GRE is basically it's used to run the Java application. And GRE is basically a part of JDK only. Okay, so just a way to check different versions of runtime and the compiler. So if you try to basically fire these commands from your terminal, there is a possibility that you will be seeing something like this, that command is not found. And so this is basically normal if Java is not installed. If Java is already installed, then you can see the default version of Java which is installed. Moving forward with step 4 now, if we see, let's basically discover. What we want to do here is we can basically directly go online, check for commands and directly install Java as well. But now what we want to do is we'll be discovering from our own system that what are the compatible packages that are compatible to our system so that there will be not be any issue while installing. Yeah. So by doing apt search OpenJDK, what it will do is it will basically find all the compatible packages with your system and it will that down. And utilizing that list now, we can pick up the packages or the versions we want to install and we can install that in our system. Now moving forward with step 5 is the exact step that we use to install Java now. Now when we search the packages in step 4, we got all the packages names. So you can see here, OpenJDK-8-JDK. This is basically the package name for the version 8 of Java. Okay. And this is for 11, this is for 17, and this is for 21. Okay. So these are the names basically we fetch from the step 4. And then utilizing these names, we are basically installing that. And to install which command we are utilizing, it's basically sudo apt install and the name of the package. And why we have chose all these 4 versions here? Because basically 8 is the legacy support for older enterprise apps, which is If you are working on some older apps, this will be utilized. JDK 11 is the first major long-term support LTS after version 8. Okay, so this is a long-term support version which is stable one after the 8 version which came out. Then we are trying to install 17 as well. This is basically the current industry standard. Many frameworks are utilizing this. Even Spring Boot 3 is compatible with 17 and 17 plus. And Y21, the latest LTS version, basically which have the modern features. Now there are much more modern uh, versions as well. But these are the basically four versions which generally are getting utilized. So we have selected these four. You can select more packages as well as per your need, and we can install basically multiple packages in the same command only. That's why we have utilized it like this. Moving forward with step 6 now, once the installation is done, we'll be checking again that utilizing Java version command now, that is it installed or not. It can give us basically output something like this, that okay, this is how, this is version, now it's installed. Okay. And same with Java C, we can check the version and see that okay, which Java C version is getting utilized now. So by doing or following all these steps now, we can say that the Java is installed. Okay. But now in step 7 and 8, what I want to show is that how we can manage different versions. Now, if you see the step 6, you can see only one version, which is the default one, which is getting utilized currently. But now you have installed basically four versions. Okay. So there should be a managing way, there should be a way to manage all these versions. And if you utilize sudo update alternative list Java, then this will show all the installed Java executables. Okay, that if, for example, we have installed four like, Java versions now, so it will show you all the four and with its paths that where basically they are installed. So this command is basically used to list them out, that how many versions are available. Then now if you are required to configure or if you are required to change the current version, which is the default current version, and what you are required to do, we are just required to do a sudo update alternative config Java. So this will give you a select menu that which version now you are required to utilize. Now you just have to type the selection number that okay, so, 0, 1 or 2, any from the selection you just have to select, type it and press enter, and this will basically switch the version from default version to another version. But these are the basically overall steps using which we can install Java and even manages the different versions as well. So now let's dive into the demo and see how we can practically do it. I'll go to the first slide again. So step 1 says open the terminal utilizing Control Alt T. Let's open it. Yeah, so our terminal is open now. Now the second thing is update sources, which is basically sudo apt update. So we'll just go here and type sudo apt update. It will ask you basically for your system password because we are utilizing a sudo command here. I'll just type my system. It's basically working, fetching all the repositories and updating all those. You see the repositories are updated now. Also, let me increase the font size a bit as well, so it will be easily visible for all of you. And I'll just try to increase the size of the window as well. Okay, now let's go on ahead with the next step now. Now, the second step is that we are required to pre-check if the version is already available or not. Okay, let's get back to the terminal and check Java hyphen version. So we can see the command is not found as Java is not installed as of now in the system. Then we'll go ahead and check for the compiler version. Again, the same thing. That compiler is also not installed. So we can see command not found. Now we'll see the next step and try to do that. Now let's find all the OpenJDK available packages for our system. which are compatible to us, or specifically compatible to our system. We'll go back to the terminal again and we'll type apt search OpenJDK. It's basically, you see, it searched all the packages belongs to OpenJDK and has showed you all the compatible things here. Okay, that is default JDK, default JRE. And you can also see even different versions: 11, 11 JDK, 17, 21, 25, everything. Okay, so if you utilize basically these versions here, or you can say these packages names, then there will be no issue while installation. Now let's move ahead to step 5 now, which is basically the installation, which is utilizing sudo apt install and all the packages names. I've just taken these packages name from the list that we received. Okay, and just go back to the terminal and try to install all these. Sudo apt install OpenJDK hyphen 8 hyphen JDK. Let's write for 11 OpenJDK 11 JDK OpenJDK 17 JDK OpenJDK 21 JDK. Let's hit enter and it will ask you, do we require to continue? We'll say yes, we want to continue, and it will install all the versions of Java that we have provided it. I'll just fast forward the video. Okay, the process is complete now, and it seems that all the Java versions that we typed are basically installed. Let's see what's the next step now. We'll verify that all the versions are installed properly or not, and basically what the current version is, current default version. Let's check that out using Java hyphen version. So you see basically it's 21, which is the current version. Then the runtime environment, the JDK 64-bit server VM. It's basically showing each and everything to us. Let's see Java C, that is the check for the compiler as well. You see Java C 21.0.8 is getting utilized as a default compiler. Now let's see how we can manage different versions and what all different versions do we have here. For that, we'll be utilizing step 7 and 8 here. Now what we are required to do is, as the Java is installed, we are required to manage different versions. To do so, we are required to utilize these two commands. The first one here is basically for listing that how many versions of Java are installed. And the second one here is basically to list the versions and to select from those versions as well. Okay, let's go back to the terminal and see the first command here. Let's type sudo update alternatives list Java. So there are 4 versions of Java installed: 11, 17, 21, and 4. And the default one that we were utilizing was 21. So now let's type the config command and try to switch between these different versions. We'll go and paste this config here. And you see, there are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 different kinds of selections here. Okay. And 0 is basically 21, showing that automatically 21 is selected. Now we can select any one of these 4 just by typing those numbers. Okay. I accidentally tapped enter. So basically there are 2 options here. If you press enter, the correct choice 0 will continue getting utilized. But if you type any kind of number selection, it will try to switch the version. Let's type the command again. Let's try to switch to version number 11 now. For that, the selection is 1. We'll type 1 and press enter. So you see, it's saying Java alternatives now. They are utilizing userlib JVM 11. Let's go ahead, check the version again. You see, the version updated to 11 now. The Java compiler version, it's basically 21 only. Okay, so you can see there is a overall difference here. The Java is 11 and Java compiler is 21. So to do so, basically you have to update the version of compiler as well. You can already see same command, just utilizing config C now. You see there are different options coming for Java C as well. So we select one for this as well. Now let's see version of Java C again. You see it's updated to 11 now. Similarly, you can update or switch to different versions now. Let's go ahead and try a different version. Let's try version 17. Press 2, hit enter. Let's see again. What's the version of Java now? It's showing 17 now. Okay, so this is how basically you can install different versions of Java in the same system and switch between those as you desire. Thank you for your time. See you in the next one.